It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, a couple of years ago, I was in a doctorate level course. It was for education at a fairly well-known university. Part of something we had to do was go around the room and talk about how, as women, we had been oppressed. But it was a room of 12 women, a female professor, and one dude. Please make it make sense. I got laughed out of the room when I said I didn't feel oppressed.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah. Everyone ball up your fist and punch yourself in the face, because that's essentially what we're doing, just talking everyone into feeling oppressed. Everyone who's alive in 2023 in the United States lives better than anyone who was born before you in any other country ever.
No doubt.
So fucking get over it and get to fucking work and shut up.
Exactly.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. Oh, women. Oppressed. You live 7 years longer than us. How oppressed can you be? You get a break on your car insurance. Oh. And you're worried about living your best life. We're worried about providing the money so you can live your best life.
No doubt.
You're just worried about living your best life.
No doubt.
I'm going for fair to middling in the life department. I'm not worried about my best. That's not even on the table. God damn. People always would say to me, they'd go, oh, you work so hard. Like, when are you going to have enough money or whatever? I go, when I can live the life my wife and kids lead, and dog, for that matter, then I will have enough money. But I don't have that enough money for that. I have enough so they can live that life, but not me. I got to go on the fucking road.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, no thoughts.
No thoughts.
All
right, so in Nashville, there's a grandfather who ate only McDonald's for 100 days straight. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And he went from 238 pounds to 179 pounds, so about 58 pounds.
He didn't get supersized. He went the other way.
He went the other way. And
How much did he? He went from 238 to
179.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went with a regular cheeseburger, though. He didn't go with a quarter pounder or a Big Mac.
Right. Well, so he did fries and burgers, apple fritters. He didn't. But the thing is, he didn't do soda, and he didn't consume alcohol or do snacks either during the 100 days. So he actually lost weight. And people
Well, he was missing the best meal, which is the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Oh, it's the best.
And the hash brown. I mean, come on. What was he doing? You got to eat the hash brown.
Was he hooked up to a Pilates machine like the entire time, or was he just going about his normal day?
It just says went about his day, just didn't. So the reason these people are studying him is because he went on TikTok, and now people are like, how did this happen? Because there's that Supersize movie where I think it was Morgan Spurlock. He got super fat doing it. And so he's now making the rounds on like the Today Show and saying, his secret to success was he would eat only half the provided food in each meal.
That's him there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait a minute. This is an old story, right? We talked about this 4 months ago. This guy.
It was probably when he started. Now he's out with the weight loss.
Oh, there's something.
He looks like he's holding his breath
new about
there.
this
I don't know.
story.
Published about less than a week ago. So that sounds familiar.
It's
people
out.
have done this. People have
Maybe
tried this.
another guy did it. I think the guy we're thinking of was a coach or something. But anyway, I like these challenges. But I'd go In-N-Out Burger.
You had to choose. Well,
double.
That's
so
right.
I hit up our fitness consultant Vinny about this story, and he says that this is a complete hoax. Yeah, he says that this is the McDonald's version of Jared from Subway. He speaks a little too polished on these shows, a little too well thought out, a little too well spoken. So he smells a rat.
He's shilling for McDonald's.
Yeah, that's what Vinny thinks.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I think that could be photoshopped as well. It looks kind of photoshopped.
AI, Photoshop, it's all there.
Yeah, I haven't had McDonald's in a million years.
Oh, the breakfast is just so good. Breakfast.
Kevin's down with
it's the only reason to go.
sausage.
Really.
Egg McMuffin. First off, I'll tell you what I do love.
Sausage. You got to go sausage.
You got to go sausage, and not the Canadian bacon.
And by the way, you take that hash brown, you stick it right in the middle.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you put it right in the middle of the sandwich, and it's just...
You go full turducken?
Oh, yeah, go right in, man.
I'll tell you what I'm a fucking sucker for. The griddle egg hoop. the formed egg. I love the fact that they got an egg. You know, all you
In
folks that do the egg, like there are places you can go to Fat Burger or whatever and get an egg, but that's just a fried egg. That's just a sloppy perimeter fried egg.
Free-formed.
Free-formed
They
fried
put it in the
egg.
hoop.
I like the hoop. I love the formed egg because it gives it thickness. The other plain fried egg, that just drifts off.
Yeah.
That's just a song that'll never end.
Yeah.
It's just, and at some point you're eating egg white that's a 1/16 of an inch thick. There's no good, and then it gets a little tough at the end.
No doubt.
You need the formed
You need the
hoop.
We
You need
need
the hoop.
boundaries, people.
That's what it is. It's an egg boundary.
Yeah.
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 I got to get one of those hoops for myself.
You need a home
I
hoop.
need a home hoop. I need an egg hoop.
You'll never be able to recreate it though, but why? You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think that there's much to it, right? It's
you
just
get
a
the
little hoop.
the genius is the English muffin,
Yeah.
and then
You could do better with the muffin, I think. You know, you get
You
some
could step
Thomases.
up.
I think you could step up the muffin a little
It
bit.
may be too nookie and cranny.
The sausage, I don't know if you could make better.
No.
That's really good. And you're not going to do better with the hash brown.
I argue with people about this all the time. They like the link sausage better than the round, flat patty sausage.
Not in a sandwich.
Not in the sandwich.
No, not in a
And
Sammy.
Link sausage is uncookable. You put 9 of them in the pan, you forget about it, and the one side burns.
Yeah, you
and then
gotta
you
roll
try
it
to roll
constantly.
it, but it rolls over to the burnt side again. The patty, easy to do. Round. I'll bet you when they design the egg form, the egg hoop, they probably took the sausage patty and they threw like a protractor on it or something. Some guy really worked it out and went, this egg hoop needs to be the exact circumference of the patty, because that's the key.
That's the brilliance of it.
I don't even like American cheese, but somehow it works in this environment.
No
in this,
doubt. That's why I always say extra cheese on it. You could ask for extra cheese. It's better.
Now
you
you've been
get two.
American cheese is the only way to go in the situation.
Yes.
Even though it'd be my last choice if I was just sitting around eating cheese.
Well,
because the
American cheese is good for two things: a cheeseburger and a grilled cheese. Actually, three things, because you need it on that egg sandwich.
Yeah, American cheese is an enhancer. You don't. It's not something you eat all by itself. But
Right.
It enhances
Provolone stands alone, but American, that's an enhancer.
Yeah.
It's
It's kind of a dying cheese too. You know, I mean,
It's a shame.
it's only the cheeseburger that's keeping it going nowadays. It really is. People are eating less and less American cheese.
Can I say this about the Egg McMuffin, or the Sausage McMuffin,
Yeah.
and McDonald's in general? There's a certain amount of a synthetic vibe to it that is the reason we love it. There's American cheese doesn't really taste like good cheese. It's got a little syntho, fako, whatever. The Egg McMuffin, the one you make at home, it's like, you ever have anyone ever try to make like an orange Julius at home? It's fine, but it's not synthesized. You need some of that like orange
real.
dye number 14 or the
Maybe
corn
that's what I
syrup
love
or
about
something.
it. Maybe.
The thing about the Egg McMuffin, it's a little synthesized. You could do it.
Yeah.
You could get good eggs and good, good muffins, and you could get good everything
get
and make it at
full
home, and it
organic.
wouldn't taste as good because it's too good. It
Yeah.
needs a little chemical vibe
Like,
to
could
it.
you throw brie on a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin?
No,
Too fancy.
too fancy.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds
Bring it
good,
down.
though. I don't know.
Now,
So you go with the
I
extra
love cheese,
You go
man. I
double
love any
cheese.
cheese.
Me too.
Of course.
Oh, man, I love cheese.
All right, sorry.
I like cheese that smells like dog shit, but it just tastes delicious, like a Limburger. You ever have Limburger?
Oh, that's the
it smells like
stinkiest cheese, right?
Who stepped in the, am I allowed to curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Limburger.
So, I mean, it smells bad, but when you taste it, it's delicious. It's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing.
yeah, I went to a cheese shop and she was explaining all the cheeses. Oh, if you look at the veins in this cheese, I'm like, I don't want veins in my cheese.
Cheese
Yeah.
shouldn't have veins.
No.
Man, I want a sausage McMuffin. Bad.
By the way, I think
I want
those-
that egg forming.
Next time I
hoop,
come on the
too.
show, I'll bring you one.
Do they
Please.
use the egg forming hoop? I know you worked at McDonald's, but I remember seeing like a video of them. They just get a frozen cylinder of egg and they just slice it into that shape.
Oh, really?
They
Yeah.
don't crack an egg into that?
No,
You
they're
break 'em
not
apart.
making the egg to order. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
It's
What?
McDonald's.
I got to tell you.
But you work there, so maybe they do it different. Maybe you know better than I do.
Did you work there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I worked the griddle. So I know my way around the searing and the flipping and the adding of the onions, and made the Big Macs and made the quarter pounders, and I stood over that goddamn griddle in the valley, Johnny Drama.
Oh man, that must have been rough in the summer.
It's literally.
I hope you hydrated.
It's a slab of steel that's an inch thick, 3 foot wide, and 2 foot deep, and you just stand over it,
and it's
the whole time,
1,000 degrees.
Oh, and my
that's the salt. It's the sweat from
my manager.
That's what's so good about those burgers.
My manager,
sweat.
Ken, would always tell me to put the plastic smock on. But I'm already standing there wearing.
Oh, that's great for the sweat. It really keeps the sweat.
That thing really breathes.
You're wearing the outfit in 1980 when I was there.
Dude, you're killing
is
me.
brown polyester. You're wearing a polyester gi.
I remember that.
You're wearing polyester slacks. You want to talk about uncomfortable? Let's try to figure out. Let's really define discomfort.
Yeah. The
grill. You guys think standing in front of like one frying pan you can heat up a little, like making bacon or something. This is 3 sewer grates, manhole
can't
covers,
get away from
just
it.
as red hot. You're just standing. Your job is to lean over it for 8 hours, right?
In the most flammable clothing.
You have put on the polyester jacket, polyester pants. Then they had a rule. The rule was, back in the day, no rubber-soled shoes. They didn't want you wearing sneakers with their outfit, like they were fine dining or something, So they go, look, here's the deal. You need leather-soled shoes.
Wow.
Leather-soled shoes. And I'm like, I don't have...
I work at McDonald's.
I'm applying for a job at McDonald's. I don't have... Bruno Mars.
I'm sure you're slipping all over the place on the grease with those leather shoes.
Oh, my God.
It's like you could ski with those.
I go to my closet. I got nothing. I do have a pair of leather brown dress shoes, like from the 50s type, lace-up businessman, 50s, hard as rock, with the leather that I wore for my 9th grade graduation. So now my foot has grown 2 sizes since then, but it's the only shoe I have that's leather on the bottom. So I stuff my feet into these horrible leather dress shoes with a heel and everything, and they're not broken in. I wore them once at graduation, standing there covered in polyester with the hat on, leaning over the grill, and I got fucking Ken coming up there and go, where's your smock, Carolla? You put the smock on. Well, you don't work the grill without the smock. The smock was a huge piece of plastic that you tied around you.
God.
I sweat on my brow, dropping onto the thing.
How long did this
over.
job last? I can't imagine you being there for too long. But
I was there about 2 months. The only break I got from the grill was doing a sweep and a mop of the dining area, which was brutal because my friends would be coming home from the beach. It was like the summer. They'd be sitting there, and I'd be like pushing the mop by them at 3 in the afternoon.
Your toes have probably grown to those. They're all bent inwards.
I was mopping with the mop in front of me and sliding all over the wet floor with my dress shoes, using the mop as a cane to try to hold myself up.
Curling.
I forget.
Oh, dude, that's too fun.
My manager, Ken, was a huge black man with a big mustache. And at some point, he just looked at me and he's like, all right, Carolla, let's see you mop. Let's do a sweep and a mop. Let me watch you. And I was like, okay. I didn't know how to mop. I got the mop, and I was pushing the mop in front of me like I was playing hockey. It was like sort of. But then the leather dress shoes that were not broken in, that were hard leather sole, would hit the wet floor, and the feet were sliding. And I just remember Ken. He was looking at me like he was like standing with his arms crossed, just looking. He was a big dude, and he was like moving his mustache, like, "What the fuck is this white boy? What the fuck is he up to with this thing?" He's like, "Put the mop behind you. Don't walk in the mop floor." And I was like, "I don't know what direction to mop in." And he would always yell at me to put that smock on, and I'd have to play.
We got to make this a movie. This sounds like.
I'd have to play dumb. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, Ken, I forgot to go get the smock.
Get the smock."
But
you
I was
schmuck.
so hot. I mean, look, the McDonald's has air conditioning, but when you're leaning over the griddle for 6 hours, you don't feel any of the air conditioning back there.
You don't feel it in the kitchen.
Right. We have them making the egg.
So they do make the egg.
We don't know. We don't know.
Well, Chris, to answer your question, yes, McDonald's uses only freshly cracked Canada grade A large eggs.
There you go.
Look at that.
We crack so many eggs every single day that our crew members have become real experts at it.
I got
In fact,
Wow.
what we
The
thought we'd
form.
do today to show you
That's a
our
six
freshly cracked
hooper.
eggs is we're going to actually do.
Look at that. You can do 6
How
in one
dare you,
shot.
Chris?
I mean, that's a McDonald's commercial.
Then you could take that as a press and just press out your sausage.
Oh, man.
You could use those hoops as your press.
You'd put all the patties down. They had the freezer right next to the griddle, right? And Ken, big Ken with his big catcher mitt-sized hands, he could reach in and do 7 patties per hand. Like he'd reach down, get 7 patties and go boom, 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 boom,
Wow.
and slap the button at the top. That was the timer. I'd reach down. Ken was like, see how
4
many,
each.
see how many patties you can do. I'm like, I'm going to do 5 patties, Ken. He said, you can't handle 5 patties, son.
Dude,
I've seen you mop. Reach down, get like 3 patties. One would fall out and bounce onto the floor.
I've seen you mop.
It's like he'd go 5, he'd go 7 in each hand. Boom, boom,
Palming
boom,
these
boom.
patties.
Hit the button. The thing would go for like 1 minute. And then the searing light would go off, like, nee, 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 nee. And then you'd see, ksh, 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 ksh. Hit the button again. Minute would go by, the flip. Then the flip button would go off. The light would fire up. Nee, 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 nee. You'd flip them over. Jill. $2.45 an hour.
Every time you say Ken, I can only think of Hands of Gold. I don't know if you remember that episode from Entourage, but Ken was the masseuse.
Oh, yeah.
In Vegas, where I brought him cashews, California cashews.
Right.
Then he's like lying in my bed, like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Ken? So every time you say Ken, it makes me think of that.
Flashes back to the masseuse.
Yeah.
God, I want one of those.
Yeah. So speaking of that guy going on a diet, so there's this woman who went viral also last week on TikTok because there's an airport in New Zealand that weighs their passengers.
Good.
That weighs their passengers before going on, right? So she freaked out, like, why do you have to weigh me? Well, it turns out this is Air New Zealand, and they said they're just doing this. It's completely optional. And it's anonymous too, but they just take the weight just for their own data.
To even out the flight. I mean, you don't want it all lopsided. You want all the weight on one side of the plane.
Of course, that too. But they're just doing it to just collect data. They're only doing it for like a month or so, just to see how much their passengers are weighing and get an average there. But people are kind of freaking out about it, having to step on a scale before their flight.
Oh, who gives a fuck?
Everyone's so sensitive about their weight. You know, it's just like
diet.
Well, can I say this? We're living in a time where fat is beautiful, and all the ladies from Dove are Tubelards and coming in all different shapes, but they're all being celebrated and beautiful. Good fat ass, get on a scale then. Let us celebrate your fat ass. Like, this thing is like, I don't want to be weighed, and Lizzo should be celebrated as a beauty queen. Well, then which is it? Like, what are we uptight about? Then if this is to be celebrated, and there's fatties and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, like, we're celebrating fat asses. So get on the scale, fat ass.
There was a carnival game where like a guy would guess your weight or your age, and then if he like got it,
there was a trick to that.
Yeah, there's a trick.
I think there was a weight underneath the boardwalk or something. I don't know. There's a trick to that.
Yeah, but there's like you can't do that now. My God.
No. But also, I think you could look at someone and get an idea of what they
That's the trick.
What
just
they
see
weigh.
the physicals.
Yeah, so this is good. You guys ever been on a flight where they're like, we're overweight on this flight?
I have been on a flight where they go, we need some passengers to move to the other side of the plane to even it out.
Or one fat guy.
Yeah,
Frank, come here.
Well, that big guy.
If you're the fat guy, you could just feel all the eyes on you.
Well, he's the reason we got to move to the other side of the plane. We need 4 guys to move because of that one guy.
I've been on. Now these are like smaller, proppy, kind of commutery, whatever. But I've been on a flight where they're like, "We are overweight. Who wants to volunteer to leave their bag back at the airport?"
Oh.
Yeah, right.
And everyone's like, "No one's doing it." And then they're like, "Well, then we're going to open up the cargo hold and we're randomly pulling one off, or two off, or three off, but whatever." If look, you can raise your hand and get a voucher. Or you can all sit there, and we're just going to go play Sophie's Choice with your fucking the luggage, and they'll pull off like 4 bags, and you'll just be going, all right, there's like 50 people on the plane. What are my odds? What are my odds here? But we're going to find out when we get to where we're going that your bag ain't here, and they'll put on the next flight or whatever. But then you sit around and you think, so wait a minute, we're flying at the maximum weight this flight can be at, minus a couple of pieces of Samsonite, like some fucking tube socks and sweatpants, like I and a toothbrush. I don't feel great about being at the maximum amount we can fly, but that's how it works. Yeah, sorry.
Maybe you take the voucher.
Yeah, maybe take the voucher and get off the flight yourself. So there, that 6th Street Bridge in L.A. Oh my God! So remember, there's all these stories when it first opened. Everyone's doing like the donuts and doing all the street racing on it, all the parties, for the social media stuff. Well, a 17-year-old boy just died there last weekend, saying he was climbing up the bridge, and he was trying to share it on social media, and fell off.
My favorite part about that bridge and about all the sort of government related, like here's what we're doing. You know, we're building a bullet train. It's gonna go from Sacramento right into San Francisco to get there in 9 minutes and whatever. They always do the artist rendering. Yeah, and the artist rendering of that bridge shows a bunch of happy couples pushing strollers, and blooming flowers, and
it's utopia.
And there's a mime over there, and a guy painting street, and this guy's selling churros. The actual version of it, graffiti, gangbangers doing donuts and Dodge Chargers, and 17-year-olds falling to their death. Like that's what it is. But the artist's rendering of it, it's utopian. It's beautifully lit, safe. Couples strolling together arm in arm, and then that. Because the thing about what I've realized about like L.A. is we can no longer have nice things. They will be ruined. We cannot have a nice bridge. It will be tagged. Yep. Somebody will jump off it. Somebody will do donuts in their Dodge Charger. Like we can't have nice things anymore. Everything's got to be shit in LA because everyone's just a fucking animal in LA. And then people they do all this stuff. They go like, well, in Amsterdam, they have public bathrooms. I'm like, that's Amsterdam. They have normal people there.
We're a bunch of animals.
We're a bunch of fucking animals that broke out of prison. We don't know how to have nice things here. But believe me, well, whatever your European utopia in Luxembourg, they have housing that's subsidized by the government and people live. Yeah, let me take some of the people that graffiti the fucking bridge 10 minutes after the concrete's dry. I'll move them to Luxembourg and let them hang out in your utopia for 20 minutes and then tell me how great the plan is, douche.
Yeah. It's not the fact that you have them. It's your people are better than ours.
Look, everything would work. Everything could be on the honor system. I could open a 24-hour liquor store that just had all the beer and wine and all the Skittles you wanted. And then I don't need anyone to man it. You just tuck the money in. If you buy yourself a 6-pack of St. Pauli Girl, that'll be $12.99. Just put the money into the kitty. Yeah. Yeah, that's 10 seconds. That's like, you know what LA is? I'll tell you what LA is and who LA is comprised of. LA is 2 things. Half the people in LA are idealistic douchebags who think everyone's going to do the right thing. Like, oh, so we'll have a shelter for the homeless people, and they can inject themselves safely in a safe zone to inject their narcotics. And everything's going to work. Yeah. They're shitting in the street and stabbing each other with rebar. Like that's. We have half the people live in Beverly Hills and Malibu, and they set policy for the animals that they don't think are going to act like animals. Like, oh, we'll just have a system. We'll take care. We'll give every student at LA Unified is going to get a tablet. We'll give them a tablet, and then they can catch up with reading and math scores, or they can hack it and watch porn all fucking day. Like that. We have a bunch of ideologues who think people are going to act like human beings. They won't. Here's what LA is. Remember when you're a kid and you go trick-or-treating and there'd be that one house where the people weren't home, but they'd leave the plastic pumpkin outside with all the candy in it.
Take one, like, please.
Yeah, a little sign there.
Just take one.
Yeah,
just
right.
take one. And you
dumping this whole thing into my
now
pillowcase.
There'd be a group of like 4 or 5 people, and you'd walk up. 3 of them would take one, but the last guy takes the whole pumpkin. He dumps it into his pillowcase. He takes the fucking pumpkin. He shits in it. And he throws it.
I don't think I ever shat in one. I love the word shat.
Shat in a pumpkin. My friends dump the thing, shit in the pumpkin, throw it at the garden window on the way out.
Oh, all right, man.
LA's only comprised of people who shit in pumpkins. So we can't have nice things. The people in Luxembourg take one piece of candy and leave. It'll work in Luxembourg. It can't work here because we have a bunch of pumpkin shitters.
Pumpkin shitters.
It's true.
These rules work nicely.
Trick or treat. So you've been tricked.
The one candy people, all this stuff works on. The pumpkin shitters, it does not. That's what LA is.
You're supposed to shit in the pumpkins that don't give the treats, though, right? Not the ones that give the treats.
Take all the treats and then,
you're not
going to answer your door? Okay.
And then a group of politicians and sort of, well-heeled elite people who don't understand we live with an army of pumpkin shitters who are never going to do what you think they're going to do. They're shitting in that plastic pumpkin. That's it. Now, if you would like to set policy based on my pumpkin shitter premise, then we could do shit that worked. Mm-hmm. But we're going to defund the police and we'll put community ambassadors. We don't like the look of armed police officers on the subway in LA. So what we're going to have is subway ambassadors. These are men and women who aren't armed, who are going, good. You know who's in the subway? Pumpkin shitters. What happens when the fucking machete comes out to your fucking ambassador?
Yeah.
Now, you in Malibu who come up with the ambassador idea, you don't ride the subway, and you think this is going to work. But you're living in a town that's lousy with pumpkin shitters.
Yes. Yes, no doubt.
And that's why I need your vote.
So is this bridge ruined?
Eventually, what we do with this shit is we'll just put up like cement barriers and just go, fuck it. There's $200 million in the garbage, but we live in you put that bridge in Luxembourg, it'd be used right now. But you dropped it in the middle of pumpkin shitting central, and that's what you got.
Oh man!
Find the rendition of that bridge. It makes me laugh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Look at them.
It sure does look nice.
That's beautiful.
There's no gangbangers doing donuts anywhere.
Happy couples, happy families.
Yeah. That's right. No
Have
crime.
A real day.
No nothing. Yeah.
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 Good place to get
Green
rolled.
plans.
I have no... You can't... It's like you ever have that super shitty roommate, you just can't have nice things with that person. Like there's just certain people you could buy them a brand new top of the line Lexus and get back with them in 4 months and just be trashed. Like that's who they are.
There was a house where we would jam at, and then if you left your instrument there, it's like, oh, we'll be back next week, and you can just leave your guitar, your amps there.
Strings are
Every
busted.
time you come back the next week, strings are busted, amps not working.
Out of the
it's like, what happened? Well, it's gone.
We need an actual picture of this bridge and what it really looks like. But Yeah, that's it. Pumpkin shitter.
I don't think I've ever seen that bridge.
It's new. I mean, it just opened like a year ago.
Yeah, it opened a year ago, and originally there was a bunch of
takeovers.
street takeovers.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw that art there. The two hands. Is that there or is that?
Here's the whole thing with the takeovers.
Oh, here it is now.
On
Okay.
everything.
All right.
Whole line of pumpkin shitters taking over the bridge.
Getting
All right.
ready for a car race or something.
Here's the whole thing. Cops no longer can randomly shoot people for no good reason, but you need to randomly shoot someone for no good reason in order to keep the whole takeover thing over.
Yeah.
What'll end that is guys are doing donuts in front of cops now. They're just like, what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'll sue your ass if you do anything about this. And that's this. Pumpkin shitting central.
Well, people figured out that, we have bigger numbers than the cops that are in front of us, so we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, what's the cop gonna do? Grab the person who is of another ethnicity than him and like hold him in a chokehold while everyone films it?
I hope your body
and
cam's
every
on.
fucking politician will side with the person that was doing donuts, not the cop.
Yeah.
And you're fucked. So they're like, fuck, go ahead, pumpkins.
God, pumpkin. Yeah.
Go ahead, PSers.
Couple nice cars on that bridge, though.
You
Couple old
PSers
nice
shit
Ford
all you
there,
want.
all nice Chevy, 57 Chevy.
Yeah, the Jews love their vintage cars. All right, one more.
All right. So, Bill Cosby, he faces some new lawsuits now because California has expanded the window for sexual abuse accusers to take action. So this woman, Victoria Valentino, she's 80, former Playboy model. She's
Victoria Valentino?
hot name.
Yeah, that's a hot name.
VV. Yeah.
She's 80.
She's 80. So she says back in 69, her and her friend went out with Cosby. Well, first off, she met Cosby initially during an audition, and her 6-year-old son had died right before that. So she was crying, and then she runs into Cosby again, who catches her crying. It's like, hey, let me take you out to dinner, and let me cheer you up. Her friend's there. They go out to dinner, and while they're at dinner, they all take some pills, and she thinks that Cosby fake took his pill, and then gave them another pill, and then she's like, now it's all fuzzy. We're in his car. He takes us to his place, and then the next thing I know, I wake up and he's over my friend, like who's also drugged out, obviously, and just doing stuff with her, and then he comes to me. He orally rapes me vaginally and has sex with me, and then. And she's been trying to accuse him of this, but because of statute of limitations, she hasn't been able to. But now that we've expanded it, Cosby is once again under the gun.
Well, in his situation, it's probably okay to go back that far. But I don't know if it's a good precedence to set that people can go back that far and so many.
Can you imagine every time
with Cosby, you would go, all right, yeah, well, maybe with this guy.
Imagine every time Cosby's phone rings, he's just got to stare at it and
He's
go,
like,
what
oh
the
no,
fuck?
here comes another one.
And then, it always starts with the weird innocuous thing, like it's a guy, it's a lawyer or something. Bill, how you doing? Good.
I don't know how to tell you this, but
Is the wife around, or you alone? Like whenever
you might
somebody
want to sit down.
Did you check Twitter yet?
Whenever anyone asks you if there's anyone else in the room when you're talking on the phone, whatever comes after that's
You're like,
bad.
Not good.
no.
That's
It is
bad.
Not good.
Yeah. What's the fucking wife's name? Shit. Camilla. Yeah. So if anyone ever calls, I'd like to get Bill Cosby's personal number just to call him. Just so I could, like twice a week, I'd just call him and go, hey, Bill, is Camilla around? She in the room? No?
Yeah.
Oh, she's at the mall? Okay, good.
It's like, oh, fuck Jesus.
Okay. How you doing, buddy? And then there's some small talk after that, which is weird because now you want him to get to.
Yeah.
How you
you wanna
doing? Yeah. So that was his thing. His thing was Quaaludes. I don't know why that was
that the
thing.
drug? He wasn't roofing him. It was Quaaludes.
It was probably Quaaludes back in the day.
Well, they were great back in the day.
Oh,
my God.
You remember those days.
Oh, I remember those, yeah.
They,
Lemon 714.
714.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the number on the pill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said, take this pill and it'll, quote, make you feel better.
I got to tell
Well, if you stayed awake during it, they were fun. But they can knock you right out instantly if you're
the best. advertisement for a Quaalude ever. It's like, I remember being like 14 going like, whoa, what's a Quaalude like? And they're like, it's like a 6-pack and a pill. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah. That's the best advertising for a pill ever. It's a 6-pack pill?
Yeah. It's more like a 12-pack, though, man.
Did you take one back in the day?
I did, yeah.
And it knock you out?
Yeah, I'd just be floating around town.
I didn't even know what they were for legitimately. It was...
Yeah, I guess for sleep, maybe, but... Or
they don't make them anymore, or maybe you can get them in Mexico or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen them.
But Quaaludes were a thing. It was obviously Cosby's like weapon of choice, allegedly, and that's what he did. But he didn't have to because he was Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was a huge star.
Yeah.
And was since the 60s. So it just goes to show that these guys' things are their things. They're not using it to get laid. It's part of the fetish.
Yeah,
their
pattern. So you're gonna love his spokesperson, Andrew Wyatt.
Oh,
so,
Andrew calls.
This guy.
Is Camille around, Bill? No. Okay. Why don't you just have a seat? Let him talk for a minute. Yeah.
So he's of course Cosby's denying all of this, and his spokesperson, this is his quote. What graveyard can Mr. Cosby visit in order to dig up potential witnesses to testify on his behalf?
Wow.
America is continuing to see that this is a formula to make sure that no more black men in America accumulate the American dream that was secured by Mr. Cosby.
Playing the race card.
Playing the race card. And so Victoria's now even more upset. Like, why are you playing the race card? She's actually commenting on that, too. She's just like, yeah, of course this has nothing to do with race, but playing the race card.
But there is a point about going back that far in history. There are... a lot of the people that may have been there are dead now. So, I mean, it gets where and memory's a little fuzzy at this stage. And is that really the way it went down? I don't know. It gets a little...
Yeah.
But in his case, I'm sure
what
it
year
happened,
would she have been a playmate then? In like the 60s or something? I had them all memorized like through the 70s. Because that was a thing. Now there's
your whole room covered in... posters.
No, I had your brother's poster.
Oh, that's weird.
Right over the bed. Oh,
there she is.
There she is.
63, Miss September.